there it is in all of its sub $100 glory, looking fabulous. And the reverse works quite well on it. There it goes.
Are we making a video?
Yeah. So you're in the market for an RC truck, maybe for a kid, or maybe you're just a beginner and don't want to break the bank starting out. In 2025, can you still get a decent RC truck for under $100? This DeeRC 9207E currently selling for about $85, I think it was $83. We're gonna go ahead and open this thing up. It's a 10 scale truck, oil-filled shocks, and we're gonna look at it through the lens of a beginner or a child and see, is this truck any good? Should you spend more money to really get something better? Or would this be good enough for someone just starting off, or again, a kid? Stay tuned and let's find out. Okay, let's go ahead and open up this box and see what's included here. Now, it's unusual to find a truck at this price point that's 10 scale, so it should be pretty big and still is gonna be good enough for everyday use. It's gonna have aftermarket product support. It's gonna be worth your money. At this price point, it's asking a lot, but let's see what we get here. So, the truck, first impressions, actually looks pretty nice. It's a little on the small side for 10 scale, but it may be closer to 12 scale, but not bad. I mean, these tires are decent, they're pretty big. The body, the color looks pretty fabulous there if you're asking me, but looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Body's a little thin. We'll see how that holds up as we run it. And just for comparison, here is this 10 scale truck. Here is a different 10 scale truck that I own. So comparing these two, the DeeRC is significantly smaller. If I line these two up, it's not tiny, but 10 scale's pushing it. I'd say it's more of a large 12 scale. But here it is with a 14 scale truck next to it. Definitely bigger than a 14 scale. This is a DeeRC truck here as well, a higher end one. And here is an 18 scale truck. So if you're just starting off, something like this could work fine on pavement, but it's gonna feel probably more like a toy. This truck's probably pretty similar in price to this one. When you jump up to 14 scale, you can do a little bit of off-road use with it, but it's still gonna struggle. The tires aren't very big, and it's better suited for on-road or possibly baseball fields. Stepping up to this should be good enough for small grass and mild off-roading, but we'll see. And then of course 10 scale is gonna handle the rougher terrain better than any of the smaller trucks. But there's a comparison. And again, it's not tiny, but it's definitely not quite as big as some of my other 10 scale vehicles that I own. So let's see what else is included in the box here. We have a Li-ion battery. It's not a LiPo. It may offer a little lower performance than a LiPo, but it should be plenty good. This is a brushed truck. This truck is not brushless. Brushless will provide more power, but brush should be sufficient for a kid or someone just starting off. We'll test the speed on this. DeeRC claims 50 kilometers an hour, which is around 30 miles an hour. I think that may be a little optimistic, but we'll test that and see. I expect it to go closer to 20 miles an hour, but who knows, maybe it will surprise me. What else do we have here? We have some accessories. We have a screwdriver, a tool to remove the tires. We have a charger. This plugs into a USB, a brush to get dirt out of the car, and then we have some extra body pins here, it looks like. Okay, nice stuff. We have some extra body pins, some extra nuts, and I guess these are hexes for the wheels. So a few extra parts here, and there's actually a few more still stuck in here, but there we go. Also in here is the transmitter. Now at this price point, I do not expect much, and you don't get much. It's very light, cheap feeling, but it does have a speed control, so you can dial down the speed for a beginner, which is actually really nice. And it does have steering trim, so not bad. This should be sufficient, and we'll test the range on it. It takes 2 AA batteries, which are not included. Also included with the truck is, this looks to be a second battery. Yes, there we go. We have 2 Li-ion batteries that are included. And then finally is the manual. Don't really need to spend much time here, but as you can see, there is a parts list. So if you have problems with this truck, if something breaks, there should be parts availability through DeeRC. I haven't confirmed that, but this is a huge benefit versus a truck you might get from, say, Walmart, and there may be no aftermarket parts availability. So nobody really cares about the manual, but it looks to be sufficient and have the basic information you need to get this truck put together and to run it. Let's go ahead now and take a look under the body and see what we have to work with here. So again, the body, it is thin plastic. It's not real strong. I may actually take some Gorilla Tape and line the inside of the body with it in some key locations just to strengthen it a bit. I hate for this fabulously beautiful pink body to have any damage or anything. I love the fake skid plates on the roof. Maybe we'll put some tape on here to actually provide some protection. But again, at this price point, looks pretty good and can't complain too much. Now, what I'm seeing right away, which is actually really nice at this price point, and I've seen trucks that cost more than this or even smaller scale at this price point that don't offer nice shocks like this. These are oil-filled shocks, and this is going to help the car ride better than it would otherwise and soak up bumps reasonably well. They actually seem pretty stiff for the weight of the truck, but we'll see how they work in actual use. The truck does come with headlights, and everything's tucked away under these plastic covers, but the motor is under here. The ESC is under here. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and see what's under here. All right, so I went ahead and opened this thing up, and the ESC looks fine. It says it's a 30 amp 2S unit here for the brushed motor. I was seeing if I could make this into a speed run car because the drivetrain looks pretty stout, but where I'm gonna run into a problem is this spur gear is plastic. And if I shred this, I may be out of luck. So maybe my hopes and dreams of making this a speed runner aren't as realistic as I originally thought, but it may hold up just fine to the power this brushed motor throws at it. So really nice design overall. A lot of cost cutting in the suspension arms and just the plastic in general. But the oil-filled shocks are really nice. They even have preload adjustment. It has lights, headlights. You know, for the price, I'm really impressed. A lot of interesting features here. Now we also have the battery tray here, which has a latch to keep your battery secure. So what you're gonna do, starting off, is you're gonna go ahead and charge this battery. It may take, say, an hour and a half or so, but you're gonna plug the end of the battery charger in like that, put the other end into your USB power output, so it could be a phone charger, whatever you have available. So again, for charging, you can just use a power supply like this that may have come with your phone, just a standard USB connector that goes in one end, the other end in your battery. Or if you're on the go, you can use a power bank, and I'm going to use it just for demonstration purposes. But you can see here, when there's power supply to the charger, the red light comes on. And then when you go ahead and connect it to the battery and turn on your power supply, if you look now, there's a green light that's flashing in addition to the red light. So once this is complete, I believe that green light will stay on. So I'm going to go ahead and allow this battery to charge. Once the charge is complete, you're going to go ahead and line up the connector here with the connector inside the truck. So you're simply going to put the battery there, push down, and that's all you have to do to secure the battery. So that's actually really nice, and it's a really nice battery tray. The suspension pieces, they are cheap. The plastic looks like something that might hold a toy in its box. We'll see though, they may be strong enough. I don't know quite what to expect. We're gonna have to run it to see how well they work. The steering arms, again, cheap, but they look functional and they may work just fine at this price point and at the speed this truck will be running. The servo arm, again, cheap plastic, but it may well be sufficient. It does have a wheelie bar. It seems to be really too high. Ideally, you'd want it more at this height, so I don't know why the designers put it that high. We'll see how it actually works when I'm using it, but I'm fearful that it may not be the best design for a wheelie bar. The chassis, it's plastic, nothing fancy. You're not gonna wanna jump this, you know, off a skate ramp or anything real high. It probably will damage it, but for running in the grass and on road and just general use, this truck may be perfectly sufficient. All right, we have the batteries installed into the transmitter. I'm gonna install the battery into the truck. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the transmitter, and then we're gonna hold this button down right here to turn the truck on. So you can see the headlights came on, actually quite bright there. That is definitely not gonna hit 30 miles an hour, but we'll see exactly how fast it goes. The steering servo is actually plenty powerful, but as you can see, the wheels are turned to the left there. So what you're gonna wanna do if your wheels are not aligned properly is use the steering adjuster here and turn it until you get it straight, and then you can fine tune it once you're actually running the truck. All right, let's take this thing out and run it. So how fast is the DeeRC 9207, literally right out of the box? We're gonna find out right now. We're gonna hit track, start, and we're reading. Full throttle.
Ambitious but rubbish.
The company quotes 48 kilometers an hour, which is nearly 30 miles an hour. This looks to me to be closer to maybe 15. Definitely a gross exaggeration of the speed. All right, let's see how fast it went. 17 miles an hour.
Man, this is some bullshit.
I don't see why these companies have to exaggerate speed so much. It's a little ridiculous to exaggerate the speed by that much. I mean, it's a beautiful truck for its price point, and I'm sure it's decently capable off-road, which we'll try that another day when it's not so wet. But the speed is simply not there. It does not tip over easy. This is actually handling on this pavement a lot better than the last off-speed car I just ran out here. And we'll test the range while we're at it here. that's about it. So the range is not much more than 100 feet, but for something that goes this speed, that is sufficient. You can be at full throttle for quite a while before it's going out of range. And here it comes. The handling is the best part of this. It's actually quite good. Brakes are a little strong, but not as bad as some other cars that I've tested. Let's get this a little closer so it's reading. All right, stop, read, 17 miles an hour again. So I don't think that's gonna change. What I do wanna do is we'll do a drag run. Let me get this on some dry pavement here. It says we're testing. So let me go ahead and give it the beans. For 132 feet. DeeRC, they really like their strong brakes. Not sure why, but they sure love them. 17 miles an hour, and looks like we pulled a maximum of 0.67 G. So there we go. As far as this wheelie bar I was complaining about and the aggressive angle, I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. It doesn't seem to have enough power to use it. I'm going to mash the throttle and we'll see what happens. Nope, it just takes off. So the wheelie bar is for show, which is fine. And let's see how this thing does just popping off the curb, just to test these shocks out a little bit. Yeah, that ate the bump up just fine. No issues there at all. So that's the strong point of this truck, is the handling and the suspension. And it'll just eat these bumps up, no problem. So good stuff here at, under $100. The handling's outstanding. Nice wide track to it. So very nice in the handling department. Big fan. So the only problem is if you want something that's going to be faster, this might let you down in that department. But handling wise, quite good. Very responsive. But those brakes, a little on the strong side. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to try it. The grass is fairly tall here, and I expect it to really struggle to get up this hill. Let's see how it goes. A little better than I would have expected. All right. I mean, at this price point, it's actually really exceeded my expectations. Not bad at all. The DeeRC 9207E. There it is. And all of its sub $100 glory, looking fabulous. That's one other really nice feature about this, is when I turn the transmitter off, it lets you know it lost connectivity because the lights are flashing. Instead of being on all the time, they flash when it doesn't have connection with the transmitter. Real quick, I'm gonna test the voltage on this battery and just see how low it is after, that was probably every bit of 5 minutes runtime. That is really in there securely. That's a nice feature. It's hard to see, I apologize, but we're right around 4 volts per cell. When it was fully charged, it was at about 4.2. So I've used less than half of the capacity. So the runtime should be decent. We'll run it longer in a future video, but I'm guessing you might get close to 15 minutes. Certainly more than 10 minutes on one battery. All right, I'm in a new spot here. I was having so much fun running this thing earlier. I wanted to take it out here and run it some more. My daughter's at Girl Scouts, and I'm here at this cul-de-sac. And the beauty about this truck not being crazy fast is you don't need a giant space to run it in. A lot of my faster trucks, I could never run it here. It wouldn't be much fun. It's too small of an area. But with something like this, you don't need a ton of real estate. And this is going to be something for someone that's just getting into RCs. They need to get used to the handling, and they don't need something crazy fast. 17 miles an hour. I think a little more would be nice, like low 20s. But you got to remember, most of my cars, what I'm used to go 60 to 100 miles an hour or more. So maybe I'm not the best reviewer for something like this because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as fast as what I'm used to. But I think as long as whoever uses this treats it reasonably well, they're not taking it to a skate park and bashing it real hard and just being an idiot with it, it should hold up fine. I would like to see it offered in some additional colors. And I know I've already said it, but I really would like to see DeeRC, not only for this truck, but their trucks in general, being more honest with the top speeds. I mean, 17 is nowhere near 30. It's almost half the speed they claim is all it can do. 15, of course, would be half of the claimed speed. So that's just too much of an exaggeration. And to me, it makes them look bad when they make a claim like that. There's just no need to say that it's way faster than it is. And I would like to see, you know, we're in 2025 now. This isn't like, you know, the 1900s or whatever. Companies don't need to come up with like outrageous lies with the speed of their truck because there's no point. I mean, so many people have GPSs. You could just pop a cell phone in here and it's obvious really quickly it's not going, you know, 30 miles an hour. So here it is in the tall grass again. It's a little wet, but you know, it gets through it. It does struggle a bit. But it's nice that it's four-wheel drive. And it's reasonably capable. But as you can see here, it is bogging down, running through the grass. It's not happy doing it. It will do it, but it's not very happy. The power is just not there for running it in grass. And the reverse works quite well on it.
Are we making a video?
Yeah. So what do you think of this truck? Is it pretty good?
Yeah. I just think you should bump the speed up.
Yeah, make it a little faster.
Yeah.
But it handles good, right? Watch out for the pole. Oh, you're good. There it goes.
That is
Well, let's check out the body and see if it's broke or not. The pin popped out, but the body looks okay, so that's good. So what are my final thoughts on this truck from this initial run? I'll say overall, I'm actually really impressed with how well it performs. As long as you don't drive this thing like a complete idiot, as long as you're not taking it to a skate park and, you know, bashing it real hard and jumping it off of things, I think most people will be pretty happy with it. My biggest complaint, and I get it's cheap, low-priced, budget-friendly truck, but the speed is lacking. 17 miles an hour to me is even a little slow for a brushed truck. I would be happier if it could hit maybe like low 20s, but I'll probably modify this and get it closer to 30 in a future video, so stay tuned for that. The handling greatly exceeded my expectations. It was actually very stable, and it can handle, you know, mild terrain, maybe even moderate terrain pretty well. Does not have enough power, however, to get through grass very well. So this is mainly going to be limited to on-road, maybe some gravel, baseball fields, things like that. So the oil-filled shocks worked pretty well. They're a little springy. I think they might need some thicker fluid, but most people will be happy with the performance right out of the box. The looks of the truck, I think the body actually looks really good, and I'm all for getting more girls into driving remote control cars. My daughter, she's not in this video, but she'll be in a future one. She already saw this truck and said she wants it. It's her truck. The only negative to that is I don't believe it's offered in any other colors, and I think that's going to limit the market. A lot of boys probably aren't going to want a pink truck. If they do, you know, no judging, but you know, another color would be nice. But for a pink truck, this thing looks fantastic, fabulous, super. There's a lot of words I've used to describe it. So the headlights are a nice touch, and yeah, for under $100, I would recommend this to a beginner, a kid, maybe 8 years old, 9 years old, or under. It's not going to go fast enough to, if they run into themselves with it, it's not going to hurt them real bad. You know, some of these faster trucks could do some damage if they hit a kid. So that's where I'm at. Please let me know if you have any questions on this thing. And I plan on probably modifying it. I might put a brushless system in it, something not too crazy. But stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.